Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, November the 12th, 2024. I made it through yesterday. It was hard, but I made it through. I'm still standing. Still standing. So today, I'm still in this space. I miss my husband. All I can do is think about last year, thinking I still had time. And that's one of the things since I lost Steve. Time, like wasting my time, taking my time for granted. Can't tolerate that. Cause I can't get nothing back. Time is one thing I can't get back. Never get it back. So I'm just here. So today, I'm working. I have to. Cause I gotta keep pushing through. Can't just stop moving as much as I want to, as much as I feel like I don't want to do nothing. But I had to continue to push through, so I'm working. I have to go get my infusion today. I think just because I've been going through so much, you know, your mental affects your physical. The last time I had my infusion, I got sick because it compromises my immune system. So I got sick. So I pray that that doesn't happen this time because I need my infusion. I have to have it. Get it done every 4 weeks, and like even now I can feel it in my body that it's not as strong or as in high levels. Like I know it's time for an infusion, so I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna finish working. That's what I do. That's what I do. But it has just been so hard, you know. I talked about yesterday what happened at Tuskegee. That is really went heavily on me. I'm thankful to God that my Sydney is fine, right? But like I said, that was a very traumatic thing. Unfortunately, however you want to see it, I can relate to it. I can relate to it. And knowing that I know I'll never be the same. Those young people will never be the same. They'll never be the same. With a lot of therapy, support, and love, they'll push through because they're young, they're resilient. But it's definitely a hard path, a road to have to walk, right? And you know, I have to be honest, like the way my brain processes stuff, like the what ifs pop in my head, and I'm working on that with my therapist as well. But the what if my kid was there? Like, Lord, I can't take nothing else. I can't take another loss. No, and definitely not another traumatic loss. I can't. as a mama, like, I just want to tell Sydney, you know what? I'm coming to pack you up. You coming home. Because I got to be able to keep you safe, right? I want to lock her away with me. That's what I want to do. But I know that that's not practical. I know that my child is thriving. You know, HBCU was not my thing. It was her thing. And I support my kids in everything that they do, right? But just seeing her there on that campus as she's so involved with a lot of things, right? Sydney is like that go-getter kid. Each of my children have different qualities from their mama. But I'm looking at Sydney, and when I look at Sydney, she's like, if I could say, like the me I would have wanted to be when I was that age, like, yeah, that's my Sydney. That's my Sydney. And so finishing at Tuskegee, going on to law school, that is her dream. That is her goal. And every dream and every goal that child has set for herself, she's accomplished and achieved that, and then some. So I can't be selfish and want to just bring her just so I have a sense of comfort or security. Because the reality is, if it is our time, it is our time. And so I have to let go of my fears and allow my baby to continue to spread her wings and trust that God is going to continue to cover her and keep her safe as she continues to maneuver in this world. Because it's not just about at Tuskegee University. What happened at Tuskegee could happen anywhere. It could happen with her in the grocery store. It could happen with her at Walmart. Like, it could happen anywhere. You know, no matter how we equip our children to be able to maneuver and handle and deal with different situations, we can't prepare them for that. Just like, you know, life, we make mistakes. Yeah, this is something you know, because of the way that I raised her, I trust that she's okay, which is why I've been okay with her being at Tuskegee away from me, right? And even though it brings me a lot of anxiety since Sunday morning with my kid being down there, I still gotta let her do what she needs to do. I did ask her, do you want to come home? She was like, no, Mom, I'm gonna stay here. She was like, there are kids that was at the party, and because that's still a crime scene, they can't move their cars. They lost their phones, you know, like they haven't been able to go and retrieve those things. So she was like, Mama, I'm here, and you know, and I got a car. She was like, so I can help other students that may need something, right? If that's going to Auburn, going to Opelika, going to Montgomery, you know, whatever it is. She was like, I want to be here to support my fellow scholars. That's exactly who I raised her to be. This absolutely the amazing young lady that I prayed that she would be. And so I was like, okay. But we did agree that even though she was not at that party and she wasn't near that, but like, y'all seen the videos that are out there. My kid has seen the videos, and you know that's just like around the corner for my kid. You know, she's on that campus. The campus is her subdivision, right? So she's seen the videos, and you know, just as I've dealt with the traumatic loss of Steve, so has my kid. Sydney was the one that was here with Steve and I the most, because there's a 7-year age difference between she and Tynesha. And so when Tynesha was a teenager doing what Tynesha did, because she was a teenager, Sydney was still there up under me and Steve all the time. So he was dad to her, right? And so the traumatic way that he passed away, because she was home with me, she firsthand experienced all of that, right? That was traumatic for us. 7, 8 years before that, their dad went to sleep on New Year's Eve and didn't wake up. That was traumatic. Sydney was in middle school. That was traumatic. So my kid has had a series of traumatic events. And now this, right? On top of the fact that she's still grieving and dealing with this that happened with Steve. I told her, I need you to take all of these resources that they are providing for you guys on campus, because our mental health is most important. We can't take for granted, like, oh, okay, I'm okay. Yeah, you're not okay. And I know my kid's not okay. And for me as a parent, even with her going back to Tuskegee, one of the hard things for me as a parent with getting her therapy was that I learned that the therapist that was seeing us here couldn't see her in Alabama. They have to be licensed for each state. And so that became a thing, right? And you know, the school, they provide resources on a regular basis, but it's not the same. And it is one of those things where, you know, the kids have to go to it, right? Like they have to request it. And it's kind of like, as a parent, we can't facilitate things the way that we did when they were in high school or middle school or elementary school. And one thing that I'm learning as a parent, not that I ever felt like I was done parenting, but I felt like with her going to college, and this was where we are going to actually kind of transition, where she's able to what's the word I want to say, where she's able to advocate for herself. She's her voice. Like, of course, I'm in the background and I'm listening, but I'm allowing her to grow and spread her wings. And I only need to step in if I need to step in, right? But like when she was in high school and elementary school and middle school, how like my village grew because her friends and their moms and dads and their family actually became like our family. I didn't look at college like that. You know, of course, I knew there would be parents that I would know because our paths crossed here and there, but I didn't think that I was going to have to be as involved as I was when she was in high school and middle school and elementary school. I've always been that parent. I'm like the team mom. I'm the class mom. You know, I did the parties. I am PTO. I'm school council. Like, I've always been her, right? But I thought, because this is like transitioning my kid into adulthood, that my role would not be as required. However, I learned last year after losing Steve, when I wasn't able to be a parent for the first time because I was so in my own grief. I had nothing. And my kid stepped up and did what she needed to do. But then it got to a point where the school didn't do right. They failed. And my kid started to spiral. She was stressed by a lot of things. And it was affecting her. And I could see it. And I had to come out of my space because my kid is so important to me. And so I stepped in and I started doing the email and advocating. You know, they got a new a new president at Tuskegee. They had an event up here at Antioch AME Church, and they sent something out asking everybody that was in the area, come on out, support Tuskegee, meet the new president. I went. I was like, yeah. Because everything else I had been doing, I wasn't getting resolved. I was getting people passing the buck. You know, I had told one of the department heads, I was like, hey, let me know what your availability is. I'm coming down. We need to talk about this because I'm tired of going back and forth with emails. We need to talk about this in person so we can resolve this once and for all, right? When I tell you, this man sat here and thought about every reason why I didn't need to come down there. No, you were not okay or not equipped to have the conversation with me. I'm asking you to do your job, and I'm saying, let's take the email and everything out. Let's come to the table. Let's sit down so you can talk, we can find out what the barriers are, and we can do whatever we need to do to make this work and to get things back on track, because you guys have dropped the ball and you're impacting my kid, and that's a problem. He had every reason why he didn't want me to come, and I told him, I said, don't you worry about that. Don't you worry. You're worried about the wrong thing. How dare you, if a parent requests an in-person meeting, you got all these other reasons why not. Long story short, that whole chain of command thing, I try, Lord, I try to deal with that. But here's the thing. I have a life, and right now, the way my life is, I don't have time to be doing all of this. I don't have time with that. Let me take it to the top, and then you deal with it, and then it trickles down and y'all resolve it and y'all get back with me. That's where I am, because I don't have time to go back and forth dealing with different people, passing the buck and all of that. I don't have time for that. So I took it to the top. Finally got it resolved, but here's the thing. Sydney was getting ready to go back to school for fall. Yeah, that was 2 semesters. Basically like a whole year, school year, before they got it right. But I was like, no, not my kid. You're not. You can't have things in place and you're trying to help, and you tell the student you're helping, and then everybody dropped the ball. And then everybody act like they want to kick the can or blame somebody else instead of just fixing it. And so I finally got it fixed. But again, if I wasn't the parent and I stepped in because I needed to be the parent, like, I don't care about y'all thinking that she's a young adult and she can handle it. No, y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to do. So now you got to deal with me. So now with everything that happened on Sunday, like, we had a Zoom call with the president, and there's over 1,000 students on that call. There's about 3,000 students, I believe, at Tuskegee University. There's over 1,000 parents on the call. To my understanding, it was so many people on there. Some people were not able to even get on the call. But thankfully, some parents were like streaming it through their Facebook page. And of course, there's going to be continued conversations, because our kids deserve that. One meeting is not going to solve it. So this has to be ongoing dialogue between parents, stakeholders, the faculty, the staff, the president, as well as our students. It has to be ongoing conversations to ensure that this doesn't happen again. We can't control people on the outside and their agendas that they may have and their ill will. We can't control that, but we can protect our environment. And in this instance, which is that campus and our kids, we can control that. So there has to be more security measures in place. Nobody should ever be able to get on that campus without signing in, not just showing your ID, signing in if you're not an actual student, signing out when you're leaving. They should always know who's on that campus. I mean, even when Sydney was in elementary school and middle school, they had the system where we signed in. We put our driver's license information in, and it scanned, and then it gave us a little printed label. And when we came back out, we had to sign out. You had to be cleared and verified in that system. So if there was something going on with you where you shouldn't have been in the school, that system was almost like a little quick background thing. You know what I'm saying? So we got to know who's in there, you know? And like I said, I'm not HBCU. I have a lot of friends and family that went to HBCU, and I understand the whole experience. And I'm gonna be honest, I actually enjoyed homecoming. But I'm gonna tell you, as I sat on the yard tailgating with the other parents in the class of 2027, my anxiety was going up, because I have this thing about crowds. I've always had that, even before Steve passed away, right? But I was literally just looking at how it was spaces where people could walk, and it ended up being where, like, there was no space. Like, you're like, excuse me. Like, it was all crowded in. And I was like, okay, when we leave, what is this going to look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was getting anxiety about that, because in the back of my mind, I was like, if something happens, this ain't going to go well. Like, But I use some of my coping techniques, my deep breathing, and thank God, I always tell you, I take medication to help with my anxiety. I had took my medication, and I just said, you know what? Let me focus on the positive here. My kid is having a good time. I'm here with my kids. I met some amazing parents again. I didn't think that Sydney's college experience was going to add to the village. It was. It did. Class of 2027. Parents, we totally support one another. We have our group meet. Come to find out, a lot of them are actually close, and we have people in common. We have pastors in common. Most of this, Apostle Rozier has linked me to a lot of people that I didn't even know. That's just how God moves. And so pray for Tuskegee University. Pray for them. I am praying for them. What happened has happened. But we have to work together to move forward in a productive way, and to not allow that event that happened on the 100th anniversary to be more than what it already is. No more than, like, I don't want what happened to Steve, I don't want to be defined by that. Although it is truly, truly defining me in this moment, I don't want that to always be, whatever God's purpose is in all of this. Ultimately, what that purpose is, I want to be defined by that purpose. I don't know what that is yet, but God is guiding me. I have some ideas, but I still need confirmation from God that, all right, Cam, yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to tap in a little bit this morning because, like I said, yesterday I did it. I showed Steve because I just was not in a good space. And so I know my sister, the first thing she called me this morning, because I wasn't talking to nobody. I would respond to a text. And so she checked in this morning, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and just do a short video so people can truly see, I'm okay as much as I can be okay. Yeah, I cry a lot. I think it's important to get those tears out. I'm not one of the people like, you cry. No, you cry if you need to cry. You cry if you need to cry. Crying is not a sign of weakness. Crying, just cry. Cleanse it. Cry. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with allowing the world to see this side of me. I'm actually okay with that. I just don't want people to think that they can take advantage of. But it's important for me to share my raw feelings. Like, this is how I feel. This is my life. I know it's a lot of people that do video blogging, and they have all of these like special effects and stuff on the videos. They go in and they edit it and all of that stuff. No, I need this to be raw and uncut. I don't need no filters. I need you to see me as I am. This is me. This is me. This is me in this moment in my life. This is me. And I'm okay with the world seeing this me, because it's important that people see really who I am, not some superficial thing, or not, the filter that, makes it look like, I don't look like what I look like, No, in this moment, it's important that you see who I am, that you hear who I am, that, if you hear my pain and my frustration in my voice, I need you to hear that. I need you to hear that. Because for me to clean it up and try to put a bow on it, that's not helping me, and it's not helping anybody else. And my purpose, one of my purposes and my reason for sharing is that I want to be able to help other people that may find themselves in the same type of situation, right? So that's my purpose. That's my purpose. And like I said, today, this is this day. But I don't think that I'm going to be in this space always. I feel like there will be better days. There will be better days. And when I have those better days, I'll share those days as well. It's just, I smile, I laugh at myself a lot. But like when I'm looking at myself, my light is out. My light is dim. It's dim. You know, I lost my husband. My husband was tragically killed in a car accident. I'm not able to make it make sense. It probably will never make sense. And I'm still trying to work through things. I'm still early on in this. But it's important that I share and I document my journey. So I don't need to clean it up. I don't need to add special effects. I need to deliver my raw content. Yeah. I'm not going doing all that other stuff. Because that wouldn't be who I am. And that's not, what's the point? What's the point? I can turn my phone on and I can record how I feel, and then I can post it to my YouTube channel so that you guys can watch it. You know, as I always say, you know, subscribe, like, share. But that's not my sole purpose. Whoever it reaches, right? If it touches you, it touches you. If it's something you can pull from it, pull from it. That's it. I don't have any other agenda. Just sharing my story to help with my healing. I love y'all. Have an amazing day.